on,
no,
man.
let me talk now.
I said Google what voter suppression is. It's on the list. Don't misrepresent
Suppression is a
me.
bad word. I would never want to block anybody's vote. Anybody's
They don't
right.
feel safe.
That is. How is closing the polling place suppressing your vote?
Because poor people
No, you have.
What you're trying to do, you won't do it here.
people literally died for the right to vote. If you make it difficult for some people to vote, any objective person knows that that means that less people will vote.
My ancestors was killed for this right.
You can't get a permit, you can't get a hospital, now you want to close the polls?
The voter suppression can go both ways, people. So if you ain't gonna shut them down, run them the way you're supposed to.
If we let all this kind of stuff happen, we are failing ourselves.
Black and white people are getting suppressed. I understand that and I agree with it. But it makes it a little something more when, as black people, when we say, and I'm going to say this, that my ancestors died for this, and then a white person says, mine too. My ancestors died for the right to fight to vote. Your ancestors died fighting my ancestors to do it. There's a difference.
Whereas the number of polling stations in Hancock County greatly exceeds the number needed to officially serve the voting citizens of Hancock County, Georgia. Whereas other counties with similar population sizes such as Jenkins County, Georgia and Wilcox County, Georgia have far fewer polling places with more voting precincts. Whereas the number of polling places creates an undue burden upon county political parties to supply poll workers to ensure fair and equal elections. Now therefore it be resolved that the Hancock County, Georgia Republican Party actively encourages the Board of Elections of Hancock County, Georgia to decrease the number of polling places to efficiently serve the voters of Hancock County. Approved by unanimous vote July 22nd by the Hancock County, Georgia Republican Party.
We're being challenged by the Republican Party to actually act upon closing the polling sites. It would be unfair to the community if we actually didn't hear a say-so on the behalf of the community, what you think or what your suggestions should be. What we're asking you to do is please, let's be respectful. We're asking you, please, let's stay in order and let's not argue back and forth. All right, floor is open.
To one of the conferences, election conferences, and during comments there, I told them the number of registered voters Hancock had and the number of polling places we had, and there was just a gasp from all the other election officials that we had so many polling places. And some of the election officials that had a similar number of registered voters were saying they had 1, 2, 3 polling places. And they were just astonished that Hancock County had that many and were paying that much out for every election.
Hancock County, 5 board members, 5,255 active voters, 7 precincts, at a yearly cost per voter of $39.01. That's double and a little bit more of the average of these other counties. I would like to consider going to 4 precincts and not have any other voting sites in the county. We could run 4 lines in here very easily, rope them off, and I would be glad to do the study on it at no cost. I'd need a helper or something to measure for it.
I don't believe you try to choose the mayor all the way. But you're not going to close, you're not going to come here as a minority group to close polls in Hancock County. We're not going to do that. See, I understand that voter suppression and all this kind of thing, remaining in power, keeping power on a particular side, is a great issue. We're not going to allow you to come here and dictate to Hancock County a few dollars to spent by the local government to have voting accessible to people, or what you call unencumbered.
Every vote counts. I don't care if nothing but one vote go to that poll. Every vote's for the count. And then we work together and pull that everybody work together with that every vote count. Then we won't be talking about something sensitive about closing polling vote with money. It ever all boils down to money. Let's look at everything. Why aren't we fussing about we don't have an emergency facility here? Why haven't you all pulled together with to get an emergency facility here? You know, this is something that's more important than a polling site. We need something to save our people here.
Yeah. Okay, let's think about a couple things. If you Google methods of voter suppression, not saying that this is the goal, but if you Google methods of voter suppression, you will see shutting down voting polls as a means of voter suppression. I'm certain that's not your intention. And you brought out some very good information. His information was about the number of voters in those counties, right? And there was counties that were comparable and sometimes higher number with less places. And that seems intelligent until you assess the socioeconomic factors, right? Until you assess land-wise. I don't want you to turn your head away just yet, because land-wise, there's 150 or so, a little more counties in Georgia. Hancock County is about the 30th of the largest. So it's a huge county with a bunch of poor people. So now, if it's a huge county with a bunch of poor people, and you make it difficult for them to vote, you can see that everybody that's assessing it objectively will assume that it's a means of voter suppression, even if that's not your intention. Another thing that's very, very important. People literally died for the right to vote. People died. I saw a sign on a wall that said, "This N-word voted," and they had them hanging on a light pole. People literally died for the right to vote. So to me, voting is sacred. Yes. It's not something that it's not just a budget line that you just delete because you feel like there's money being wasted. Because as Republicans, as conservatives, you can see, I don't know if you follow me on Facebook, I talk a lot that's pro-business, right? As a Republican, as a conservative, you will see that there's way more waste in Hancock County. Yes. So if your main issue was just waste, there's so many less critical things that you could attack that would save vastly more money. If you make it difficult for some people to vote, any objective person knows that that means that less people will vote. If less people will vote because they're now encumbered, which is arguably illegal, then that is a means of voter suppression.
And let me tell you this. You all you know the history, but you don't want to realize it and speak it. My ancestors was killed for this right. Murder. Killed. And I have been in a situation where every time a voting would come up, there would be certain individuals would turn my names in saying that I'm doing hanky-panky. And I know that's a lie.
You know.
And when we stand together, come out and vote for who we want to vote for, and because if somebody that's going to realize who we are, what we're about, and we need help. And changes and lower the voting precinct will not happen. Not here. Not on my watch. And I have a lot of people that have watches. We're not going to have it. Let's pull together and pull something together that will bring some health care in here for our people.
I don't know what's wrong with this county, man. I love this county. I have 2 properties here, the Feed and Seed and the Sparta female dormitory. And I'm embarrassed. I mean, I am embarrassed. You can't get a permit, you can't get a hospital, and now you want to close the polls? Change? That's absolutely ridiculous. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself to even have a meeting like this. I mean, for God's sake, I'm not going to go to no. If I can't get to the poll, I'm not going to vote.
I don't care if you close an election site or not, but what I do want is to see them run properly. If you're going to keep them open, make it legit. 3 times I've had problems with my polling place. One time my wife went, they told her name wasn't on the registrar. We called the Secretary of State. Secretary of State looked at it and said, her name's the very top one on the registrar. We went back to the polling place. They said, you're not on it. While we're standing there, a black guy walks in from He said he's supposed to vote in Baldwin County. The girl says, why ain't you voting there? Well, they said I'm supposed to vote here. Turned around, said, here, fill out a provisional ballot. They never offered my wife that. So voter suppression can go both ways, people.
Yes, it can. That's the reason they keep the polls open.
So this year, we go back to the same polling place. I pull up at 7:15. Girl meets me outside. Sorry, we got a machine down. Please come back. Please come back. No offer of a provisional ballot. No offer of that. 2 other people I know of went there. They had to go out of town and work the rest of the day. They couldn't come back. They wasn't offered. That's 3 times I've had a nightmare at this polling place. So if you ain't going to shut them down, run them the way you're supposed to. And but hey, and if you're going to raise Cain about where the money is spent, think about where the money comes from. Where the most taxpayers are paying, that's where they need to spend the money. Don't give it all to the people who just loaf off the system.
You just insulted the whole black community.
Never be offended by somebody saying they actually believe it.
That's right.
Black and white people are getting suppressed. I understand that and I agree with it. But it makes it a little something more when, as black people, when we say, and I'm going to say this, that my ancestors died for this, and then a white person says, mine too. My ancestors died for the right to fight to vote. Your ancestors died fighting my ancestors to do it. There's a difference. So when you retaliate with the negative, when you retaliate with that, negate the facts, because you're making it like what we did was nothing. So in order for us to work together, we have to stop negating the facts and live and work together in the truth of what it is. So if you are going to supply the information, let's supply the information so that we all can vote and we can make Sparta and Hancock County better and how it used to be, one of the richest counties in the state of Georgia.
People ain't gonna stand around and let you suppress them. People ain't gonna take it no more. We all taxpayers. We all want equal right. Either way you want to get it.
We need to get together.
Yes.
We need to fight to make Hancock rich, strong, pretty. Not this mess of arguing and yelling at people. And keep talking about my people died. Well, a lot of our people died.
That's the truth.
Let's work on right now. These people. My face looks wild.
You're fine.
But I am my people and y'all together.
Amen.
All right?
There's problems everywhere throughout this county. The school system, the city, the county. We all need to come together to try to work for the better and the good of this community if we want to see Hancock County flourish. So what I'm asking, Mr. Chair, they are saying that there's a problem with the voters register. Let's get it fixed so we don't have to have black nor white coming to this polling site and saying, go to that. Let's get it fixed all over this community. But I'm also saying, let's not close these polls. Thank you, sir.
We want a solution. We need to be more involved instead of being here at a town hall meeting. We need to go, we need to be in these voting polls. We need to be certified, we need to be trained. These mistakes are ridiculous, they should not be happening. These voter managers need to be certified, which half of them aren't.
And we give every opportunity. I don't think anybody in here wants to take that opportunity away. Am I right? No. Anybody that wants to take the opportunity, raise your hand. So why not offer every opportunity possible for people to vote? I'm a veteran. I take that patriotic duty seriously. And I think we as a people, as a community, should come together and rally around. We're here for voting. To make sure that people are, nobody says they want to take that right away. So why not open it up and
let people vote as much as possible in as many ways as possible, give them as many opportunities as possible.
One way or the other, I can accept whatever it seems to be. But I will tell you that shutting the polls down will not roll the bill rate back down 1 point. So you won't save not a dime. I believe we have polling places in more of a convenience than anything else. I think this is the point where we come together, all nationalities and all people with different ideas. Let's put our ideas together. You can't get no opposite if you don't crack the leg. You're gonna have some people gonna believe in some way. You're gonna have other, all this happening, but we come together and come to one conclusion. We'll make this a better place. Of course we're gonna have mistakes, hiccups, but we all focus on the same thing. We get some deal. We get things done.